It was supposed to be just another thrill, another night of proving we weren't afraid of anything. It was Tyler's idea. It always was. He had this way of daring us, pushing us to do the stupidest things, and like idiots, Jamie and I always followed. "Come on, it's just an old place," Tyler had said, flashing that reckless grin. "It's been abandoned for years. You guys scared of a few cobwebs?" Jamie rolled her eyes, but I saw the hesitation in her face. I should have said something. I should have told them we didn't need to prove anything. But I didn't. Instead, we all stood there that night, outside the old mine, with nothing but flashlights and a bad feeling in the pit of my stomach. "Fine," I muttered, more to myself than to them. "Let's just get this over with." We stepped inside, the cold air wrapping around us like a warning we chose to ignore. The deeper we went, the darker it got. Our flashlights cut through the thick, musty air, illuminating only the crumbling walls and rusted tracks of the mine. Every step echoed, and soon, even Tyler wasn't talking. I don't know how long we walked before Jamie started asking questions. "Do you think anyone's been down here recently?" she whispered, her voice trembling slightly. "No one's been here for decades," Tyler said, trying to sound confident, but I could hear the doubt creeping into his voice. And then we found it, an old, rusted elevator shaft. It looked like it hadn't been used in ages, the cables sagging with age. Tyler was the first to approach it, of course. "This must go deeper," he said, his eyes glinting with excitement. "Come on, let's see where it leads." I felt a pit in my stomach as we climbed into the elevator. Something about the silence was too heavy, too unnatural. But I followed them in. I always followed. The elevator creaked as it descended, the groan of metal against metal echoing through the narrow shaft. I could feel the tension rising with every second. My hands were sweating, gripping the flashlight tighter than I wanted to admit. When we finally stopped, the doors creaked open to reveal nothing but darkness. It was like the air itself was different down there. Heavier, colder. "Are we really doing this?" Jamie asked, her voice barely above a whisper. She looked at Tyler, but even he seemed hesitant now. "We're already down here," he said, but his bravado was fading fast. The tunnel stretched out in front of us, disappearing into blackness. I don't know why, but something about it felt wrong, like we weren't supposed to be here. Then we heard it, a low guttural noise like a deep growl echoing through the tunnel. It was faint, but enough to send a chill down my spine. I turned to Tyler and Jamie, but their faces said it all. They had heard it too. "We should go back," I said, my voice shaky. But no one moved. We kept walking, the sound of our footsteps drowned by the growing groans and faint growls. It was like something, or someone, was watching us from the shadows, waiting. The air got colder the further we went, and I could feel the hairs on the back of my neck standing up. "What the hell is that?" Jamie asked, her voice barely holding back the panic. Tyler shone his flashlight ahead, but it barely pierced the darkness. "It's just the wind or something," he muttered, but I could hear the doubt in his voice. That's when I saw it. A shape, hunched over, slinking at the edge of the light, too fast for me to get a good look. My heart stopped, but I didn't say anything. I wasn't even sure I'd seen it at all. We kept moving, our breaths shallow, trying to convince ourselves it was nothing. But then the groans came back, louder, closer. "Did you see that?" Tyler asked suddenly, his flashlight shaking in his hand. I nodded, barely able to speak. "We need to get out of here." But it was too late. From the shadows, something moved. A creature, long and gaunt, its limbs too long, its movements unnatural. Its eyes glowed faintly in the dark, and as it stepped closer, I saw the shape of its face, twisted, with sharp, bone-like features. Tyler barely had time to scream before it lunged. Tyler was gone in an instant. One moment he was standing there, and the next, the thing had dragged him into the dark. Jamie and I ran. I don't even remember which way we went. I just know we had to get out of there. The sound of Tyler's scream echoed behind us, but I didn't dare look back. I couldn't. The groans followed us, echoing off the walls, growing louder and more feral, like the creature was hunting us. My legs felt like they were on fire, but I couldn't stop. "Keep running," I shouted, but Jamie's footsteps faltered. She was lagging behind, slowing down. "It's too fast," she gasped, tears streaming down her face. I grabbed her arm and pulled her forward, desperate to keep going, but I could feel it getting closer, the air thickening with its presence. We reached the elevator, slamming the gate shut behind us. I hit the button, praying it would take us back to the surface, but the creature was there, just beyond the gate, its bony fingers curling around the bars. I could hear its low, rumbling growl, feel its hot breath as it stared at us with hollow, glowing eyes. The elevator jolted upward, but I knew we weren't safe. I don't know how I got out. One moment, I was in that elevator, and the next, I was outside, gasping for air, my hands covered in dirt and blood. Jamie. Jamie wasn't with me. I don't know what happened to her. I don't know if she's still down there, or if the thing that took Tyler came for her too. All I know is that I was the only one who made it out. When they found me near the mine's entrance, I tried to explain, but no one believed me. They said the mine had been sealed for years, that it was impossible for anyone to have been down there. But I know what I saw. That creature. It's still down there, waiting. And sometimes, late at night, when the world is quiet, I can still hear it, the low, rumbling growl in the distance. Like it's calling me back. But I'm never going back.